This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Hello?
Hello. Hello. It's me. Hello, it's me.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Hello. Hooray. Let the show begin. I've been ready.
Say hello. 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 Hello.
Time to wake up.
Wake up time.
Wow, you are so not a morning person.
You need to cheer up.
How do you suggest I do that?
There's nothing funnier than morning radio.
Where would I find that?
On the radio?
It's on right now.
All right, not a morning person.
A little slow on the uptake.
Can we start soon?
Let's get this show on the road.
It's showtime from the KLAQ studios in beautiful sunny El Paso, Texas. It's time for the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
All right, thank you so much. Good morning and welcome everybody to the morning show for this Wednesday morning. We've got a lot coming up on the show today, including, this week we're going to start interviewing mayoral candidates. So we have a couple of the candidates set up for this week. Going to be voting for El Paso mayor in November. So we'll have candidates coming by.
Well, if you're not a felon, you will be.
Okay, yeah. Good. Thank you for pointing. I'm not a felon.
Yeah.
So
just wanted to say.
I get to vote.
Not everybody.
Good morning, Nico and Jimmy. And
What's up, Joanna? Buzz.
good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
Coming up on the show today, I'm going to do like a new product review segment because there's a couple of things out there. There's $5,000 pants that have like an exoskeleton that will help you hike and increase your leg strength by 40%.
Oh, man.
But they're $5,000.
Whoa.
There's a new exercise pill, according to scientists in Denmark. They say they've come up with a drug that mimics the effects of running a 10K without having to run the 10K. You just pop the pill and you get the effects of running a 10K. How far is a 10K? No clue. Could be a mile, could be 20 miles. I have no idea.
I believe it's 10 kilometers.
Yeah. But what is that in American?
Multiplied by 2.2.
Yeah, it doesn't help me at all.
I don't know.
New exercise pill mimics the effects of running a 10K, according to scientists in Denmark. You want to hear more about that, don't you? Okay, maybe you don't.
Me? Are you looking at me specifically?
Anybody.
Yeah.
That's an open
It sounds
question.
too good to be true.
Got a lot coming up this week on the show, and today we're going to have Coldplay tickets coming
All
up later.
right.
We,
Do you think we're going to get to interview Coldplay?
I think that's probably a stretch. We might be able to interview a roadie for Coldplay. That concert was announced in, when is it? Like in June of 2025?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We've got tickets to give away for this. Have the tickets gone on sale?
No, they go on sale this Friday.
Okay.
So
All right.
this is win them before you can buy
Great.
them.
Okay. And we were talking about Coldplay, and I could only name 2 Coldplay songs yesterday. On my way home from work, I remembered another Coldplay song. That I know.
Yeah.
Viva La Vida.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
That might be my favorite one.
Isn't that the one Apple included on like iPods without anybody wanting it?
No, you're thinking of U2.
They did both.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I actually kind of like that one.
That's a good one.
There's a new study out, according to a new survey. Listening to metal makes you a worse driver, like heavy metal. Metal fans are more likely to drive aggressively, honk at other drivers, run red lights, get into major crashes, and that's more than fans of any other music. But R&B and soul fans are the most likely to experience road rage, according to this latest survey. So we're going to get to that coming up a bit later. Joanna Barba, in about an hour, is going to have the Hollywood Cheese May, her look at entertainment news. So what's coming up on the Hollywood Cheese today?
Lisa Marie Presley's memoir came out yesterday, and we're finding out some really weird stuff in it.
Let's talk about the weirdest thing, okay?
The one about her son?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So apparently, Lisa Marie Presley kept her son's body at her house for, Buzz, I was wrong earlier, 2 months.
Yeah, right.
After he died.
Wait, what?
Exactly. Her son Benjamin took his own life in 2020 when he was 27.
Oh, that's right.
And she wrote in her memoir how she kept his body on dry ice at her home.
Here's an excerpt real quick. There is there is no law in the state of California that you have to bury someone immediately. Oh, my God. So, in the time when this memoir, when she wrote this, Lisa Marie passed away. There's a lot of things in here I almost see as a cry for help from the late Lisa Marie.
Yeah, right.
That's not the only revelation, but that's a big one. She
That's
kept
one of the big ones.
her son's body on dry ice in her home for 2 months.
Not only that, then she had a tattoo artist come over and, well, you know what? I'll tell you the rest.
Yeah. Save some of it. Save the tattoo artist.
There's more.
What?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
more.
It's a whole book. Lisa Marie also talks about marrying Michael Jackson. She addresses the whole, child molestation accusations and everything. So that book is coming out. Nico, news headlines. What do we have? What are we following in the news today?
Oh, I'm sure there's something about a hurricane. I'm just kidding. Deputy Mayor of New York has resigned.
More pins are falling over.
Yeah. And there's something about hurricanes.
And there's something about her. That is true. Let me get a look at El Paso weather. Let's see how things are going to shape up. There hasn't been any change for the forecast. It's just sunny this week, 0 rain in the forecast through the weekend, and highs are going to be right around 90. I can just summarize it for you. Sunny, 90, 91, 92, here and there, with no rain in the forecast, and light winds under 5 miles an hour all week. That's A+ for golfers. And the golfers forecast is brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com. Or call the Pro Shop. Their number is 915-821-2122. That's 821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. And while we're giving out phone numbers, let me make sure that you've got ours. A couple of numbers. You can call us directly in the studio. Use the regular studio line, and that number is 915-910-4995. That's 915-910-4995. If you want to leave a message, you can leave those anytime, over the weekend, overnight, during the show, whatever it is. Use this number for the NEC line. It's 844-805-NEC. That's 844-805-6325. We've already got some calls that have come in since I got here this morning, so we'll have those on the way for you. And a whole lot more. We're going to do some more haunted house tickets. The KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is going to be open Thursday through Sunday this week. And Thursday, 7 to 10. Friday and Saturday, though, extended hours, 7 to midnight. And Sunday, back to that 7 to 10 schedule on Sunday. Tickets you can get at the door. Also, there's an option to buy an upgrade fast pass, especially as we get closer to Halloween. Sometimes the lines might be a little longer than you want to deal with, so there's a fast pass option brought to you by Right Drive. And the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror, open this weekend, Thursday through Sunday, is at 13900 Montana Boulevard. Haunted House of Terror brought to you by Western Tech, Burnout Bullies, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and War Eagles, proudly produced and managed by Desert Warriors Paintball. Of course, we're going to have the parade on Halloween afternoon. That falls on a Wednesday. It's 3 weeks from
Thursday.
today. Oh. Yes. 31st. Yeah, it falls on a Thursday. Thank you, Joanna, for the catch there. So we'll have some details up about that. Listeners are invited to enter vehicles. We have a bunch of different categories, and as we get closer, we'll have more details about that. But just mark it there. Every year we have it on Halloween, whichever day Halloween falls on, and this week it falls on a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
I did my review yesterday of Joker 2. I pretty much made up my mind I wasn't going to see Joker 2 because the reviews were so dismal. Like everywhere I looked, nobody had a nice thing to say about Joker 2. But my daughter was interested, and, they're out on fall intercession or whatever it's called. And I had a few hours, so we went to go see it on Monday. Secretly, I think this movie is kind of brilliant, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not just saying that to go against the stream. I really said I could have done without the 15 musical numbers that they did.
Right.
That part I didn't care for so much. I was thinking about this, though. I'm probably one of the few people under the age of 100 that knows most of those songs because they're all from like 20s and 30s, Tin Pan Alley. Got a lot coming up on the show today. Today in Sound Clips, we'll hear more out of Florida. They're talking about this being, what is it, less than 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene, and this one's supposed to be even worse. Hurricane Milton might make Tampa, Florida, or parts of it uninhabitable, is what the experts are saying. So we've got Today in Sound Clips on the way. We'll get to that coming up in just a moment.
The Daily Calendar. Hey, welcome to your October 9th. Thanks. Today is something called Curious Events Day, so you can ponder all those things you've always wondered about. UFOs, Bigfoot.
Why is the Earth shaped like a banana?
Whatever. Other curious events today, it's Moldy Cheese Day, Gorgonzola.
Bless you.
It's also International Beer and Pizza Day. Did you know that pizza was first made by the Greeks and Egyptians?
No.
And Super Mario's Japanese, technically. And that's
Your Daily Calendar.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10.
Every next day. Even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
El Paso's own live and local. The Buzz Adams Morning Show. 95.5 KLAQ.
For giveaways today, we have tickets to the Haunted House of Terror. Open Thursday through Sunday this weekend. We also have tickets for Coldplay. Win them before you can buy them. Tickets to see Coldplay coming June of 2025 to El Paso. Go on sale this Friday. Do we have a pair of tickets every morning this week, Joanna?
We do, yes.
Okay. So we got some giveaways headed toward you. Cowboys football is going to be Sunday, and it's against the 3-1 Detroit Lions. Our broadcast is going to start with the pregame with Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg. That's at 1:30 on Sunday. Dallas Cowboys football on the Q is brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. 915 Tours and Border City Ale House. Border City Ale House is the host of the 600 ESPN El Paso Monday Night Football watch parties with our own Steve Kaplowitz. So listen on KLAQ, pregame show starting at 1:30. We'll get back to the rock after the game and the postgame. And that is on the official radio home for Dallas Cowboys football in El Paso, 95.5 KLAQ. And pardon me?
Sorry.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Cowboys guy yesterday.
What's that?
I talked to Cowboys guy yesterday.
did?
He's alive. He's great.
Do you have his personal phone?
No, he called in to say, or somebody called in to say he was the Cowboys guy, and he said that he only calls in when they lose. Which I was like, really?
I can definitely remember
calling. No, he doesn't call in when they lose.
That's what he said. That he only wants to call in when they lose because he doesn't want to call in when they win to rub it in other people's faces.
Well, I mean, they don't win that often, so he needs to.
I think they're 3-2 right now, so they're okay.
And now, Today in Sound Clips.
It is Today in Sound Clips, all the news with accompanying sound bites and actualities. While we go ahead and get started talking about Hurricane Milton, re-intensified. It went down to a Category 4, and then it went back up to a Category 5, and it is set to make landfall tonight. At a press conference yesterday about Hurricane Milton, President Joe Biden said this storm could be historic, as in historically bad.
This could be the worst storm hit Florida in over a century. And God willing, it won't be, but that's what it's looking like right now.
Have you heard these right-wing conspiracies about the government having technology to influence hurricane weather and that the government is purposely sending hurricanes to Florida to interfere with the election?
I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene say that they can control the weather. I, can only assume who they are.
I'm specifically talking about this hurricane and people talking about this.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's
on brand.
That's lunacy, right?
That the government has the ability to control hurricanes.
And if they did have the ability to control hurricanes, that they would be targeting certain states. It's not like Florida doesn't have a history of hurricanes, guys.
Right. Or Democratic voters.
Or Democratic voters.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Well, who are your sources other than MJT, who's like the most?
Oh, no, it's all over. What do you mean sources? It's all over conservative media.
Does it matter what the source is?
Yeah, does it matter?
I'm sure
if MGT is my source, does that matter? Or MTG? Yeah,
no, I'm just asking you, like,
all over
Tucker Carlson,
all over right wing media. Yeah,
because I haven't seen that.
That's why I was asking.
Other than Marjorie Taylor, MTJ.
Well, she talked about the weather control thing a while ago about other stuff. I'm specifically talking about the hurricanes.
No, she talked about it after Helene, and
Helene, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Here is Representative Kathy Castor of Florida warned that large portions of Tampa Bay are going to be uninhabitable after Milton makes landfall.
Large portions of the Tampa Bay area are going to be uninhabitable. You're not going to have power. You may not have other essentials.
Hear from a couple other elected officials in Florida. Florida Representative Jared Moskowitz says that Hurricane Milton and its path are a worst-case scenario for the state of Florida.
The Director of Emergency Management and the National Hurricane Center is talking what's the worst-case scenario for Florida. It is that. It is the black swan of a Category 5 storm coming into Tampa.
The black swan?
Yeah, I don't know what that
And
means.
here is Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis says almost the entire state is expected to be affected.
There's pretty much warnings or watches on almost the entire Florida peninsula. A lot of attention is being paid to the storm surge on the west coast of the Florida peninsula, and rightfully so, because that's probably the most serious threat to people's lives and property. But this storm is going to go across the Florida peninsula, and it's going to exit on the east coast of Florida into the Atlantic Ocean, likely still as a hurricane.
The strength and magnitude of Hurricane Milton brought a veteran Miami meteorologist to tears. So he actually shed tears when he was talking about the devastation expected from this latest hurricane. It's John Morales. Here he is tracking the storm yesterday and getting emotional about it.
Just an incredible hurricane. It has dropped. It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific.
So what they're talking about there, do you know what they're talking about?
I don't know what a millibar is.
It's a measure of pressure, measurement of pressure. So I think the way that they're able to track the strength of these hurricanes is a drop in pressure at the eye of the storm.
Okay.
And that they kind of measure that. The millibars thing was in my prep yesterday. I was kind of wondering the same thing.
I got a story about raccoons. I found those little bandit bastards working in tandem as a team to drag my dog's dog food out of the garage because I left the garage door open, and there were like 5 of them. And they were like working as a team to drag the dog food out. But I've never seen more than
They're
5.
coordinating.
Well, a woman in Washington State called the police when her property was invaded by more than 100 raccoons. She said that she felt for her safety. She was feared for her safety and maybe even her life. They were closing in on her. Here is Kevin McCarty. Oh, and you're going to hear from the clip. The thing is, she started feeding a few raccoons 35 years ago, putting out food for raccoons. But then it got to the point there were 100 raccoons, and she was fearful for her life. This is a spokesman for the sheriff's office there in Kitsap County, Washington, Kevin McCarty. And part of the 911 call, we're also going to hear from a neighbor who's had trouble with the raccoons as well.
She felt the raccoons were threatening. This is something you don't see every day.
35 years ago, you first started feeding some raccoons, and then when all of a sudden did it explode like this?
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago.
They were shocked. They had never seen that many raccoons in one place.
I've had several raccoons in the yard recently. My dogs have gotten in a scuffle several times with raccoons. I even had to take one of my dogs to the vet after tussling with a raccoon.
Do they tell you don't leave food out for raccoons? I know they do, because they even say don't leave your dog food uncovered because raccoons will get up back there, or your cat food.
I think rabies is an issue.
Didn't we see a preview for a movie about a killer raccoon, Joanna?
Yeah.
What was it called? Crackoon.
No, wait. That can't be it.
Yeah, it was Crackoon.
It was Crackoon.
It was absolutely Crackoon. Good memory,
It
Joe.
looks a lot lower budget than Cocaine Bear, which came out a couple years ago. I mean, it really looks like it's on a shoestring budget.
But I think maybe a little bit higher than Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, probably so.
They were real lazy with that one.
Slaughterhouse?
Yeah. Hey, you were wondering about my sources for the right wing.
Well, and the reason I was asking is I don't think most rational people, even if they're on the right politically, buy into this.
Sure, they still watch Fox News and conservative
media. Come back to it because I have one more soundbite from Kamala Harris, and she's talking about hurricane misinformation in general.
Sure.
And we'll get to that coming up. I'm going to preview this. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later because there are a bunch of interesting new products out for $5,000. A company called Skip is taking pre-orders for high-tech pants that make hiking easier. A built-in exoskeleton gives you 40% more leg power. $5,000 for a pair of these super jeans or super pants.
Skeleton pants?
I mean,
yes, the exoskeleton is built into the pants. Here are the creators.
Could you fight crime with them?
You might be able to run a little faster, so or jump a little high. Oh man, I wonder if they would give me the ability to dunk a basketball.
You'll be lucky if they help you stand.
Right. Oh man, I could just use kit for $3,000. Can I get some that just help me stand up? Here are the creators of the exoskeleton pants.
The same way that sleepwear is something that you wear when you want to sleep, MoveWear is something that you wear when you want to move.
You can think of it like an e-bike for walking. On the way up, it really kind of offloads some of those big muscle groups that are working their hardest. We like to say it gives you about 40% more power in your legs on the way up with every step.
And then supports their knees on the way down.
All right. $5,000. How do you wash them?
That's a good question.
Yeah, a little bit of spit, oil, grease, whatever it takes.
You can't just throw
Rub
them in the
some dirt
laundry,
on them.
kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't throw those in the washer.
I got an announcement for you.
Yes.
You can get a Krabby Patty now.
Preparing the Krabby Patty.
Did we ever find out what a Krabby Patty was made of in SpongeBob? Because I thought the recipe was like secret. Like SpongeBob kept it.
Well, they had to protect it from plankton.
Plankton, right.
Of course it was secret. An update, the SpongeBob Krabby Patties and Frosty are officially available now at Wendy's.
Awesome.
The Frosty features a vanilla base with pineapple mango puree swirled in. The Krabby Patty's just a hamburger.
I almost don't want to get it just because I feel like I've made up this image in my head of what a Krabby Patty's going to taste like. And if it doesn't taste like that, I'm going to be so upset.
There should be crab, I feel like, in a Krabby Patty.
Kind of, right?
Maybe some seaweed, more seafood.
Maybe seafood themed would be better.
But the Krusty Krab is run by Mr. Krabs, who is a crab. I don't think Mr. Krab
They work in a
would...
crab trap.
But where would they get beef?
That's a good question. See?
Sea beef?
The Krabby Patty.
I mean, the squirrel that lives in a biodome is the only mammal.
Sandy.
The squirrel. Her name is Sandy.
She's a squirrel.
And she's from Texas.
And proud of it. So here's a description of the sandwich you can now get at Wendy's. The Krabby Patty is a 1/4 pound of Wendy's beef, 2 slices of American cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickle, and a top secret Krabby collab sauce. You know, so it's a hamburger. What did Plankton serve over at his place? The Chum Bucket.
I know a couple Chum Buckets.
I said Chum Buckets with an
sorry.
Good heavens.
Nicholas.
I got time for a few extra sound clips that I normally wouldn't do.
You do.
Do you know that it drives Gen Z crazy when people my age and older use ellipses in text?
Oh, my God, yes.
They
what
hate
is
it?
that about?
I use ellipses all the time. It seems like the perfect punctuation for a text. You know,
I like it because it leaves a little mystery.
Well, did you know the Gen Z kids, it drives them crazy?
No, why?
Well, here is a Gen Z explaining why older folks, even older millennials, do it.
You know how older people tend to use the boomer ellipses whenever they're texting? There's always a random ... in the middle of their messages. Well, that's because they grew up following different rules for informal communication. Nowadays, if you want to separate an idea, you just press enter and start a new line with a new thought. But it made less sense to do that for writing postcards or letters where you had to save space. So people back in the day learned to separate thoughts by using ellipses. Same with early SMS texting. You were charged by the message, so it was simply more efficient to separate ideas within a single text, and boomers got used to that. However, with the rise of unlimited texting, it became even more efficient to separate different thoughts with different messages. So that became the new grammatical standard online. And that means that the boomer ellipses became redundant, which is why they cause confusion today. Most of the time, that comes across to younger people as hesitation, annoyance, or passive aggressiveness, because that's how we use the ellipses. But we should keep in mind that all the boomers are really trying to do is send multiple messages in the space of one message.
My nephew just brought that up the other day. And he's like, why they got to put the 3 dots there? It's annoying.
What do your nephews call you if they call you by name?
Jojo.
Oh, Jojo.
Jojo.
Not Auntie Jojo.
Joanna. Yeah.
Yeah, or just your
They
name.
don't really call me Aunt or Thea, which sounds weird.
Would you like them to?
No.
No?
No.
You know what is confusing to me? The barrage of messages, one after the other. I quit reading.
Then I turned to them and I'm like, yeah, but you guys got that rapid text syndrome. I'm like, just send it in one message. Why do you have to send 4 different ones?
Oh, do I have to read your whole long message?
Well, we just heard this guy breaking it down for us. So does it come across as passive aggressive?
I guess
or
it does, because
impatient?
my nephew was like really annoyed with it.
What's with those dots?
What's with
He
the
doesn't even
dots?
say ellipses.
Right. He's all like, why they got to put the 3 dots? Bro, just say what you want to say.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, but when they start coming
but
in,
I don't
like,
want to say it in like 3 different messages. I'm just going to send it in one.
when I get,
And then his
one line of text, another one line of
Right.
text, another one line of text. I dab out after
Why?
Exactly, right?
Wait, why? That makes no sense, actually, for Buzz, Joanna, because especially when we're in a group chat, because there's like multiple people texting in a group chat, you can't just ignore
he
the
taps
messages.
out in the middle of the group
I know.
chat, especially when it's him who messaged the group chat.
Like, he messages us, and then we try and respond. He's like, this is too much. I can't respond. I can't.
You know he can't read the letters.
But also, I set my phone down every now and then. I know some people never set their
Then why
phone
did you
down.
message us in the group chat?
It's only when it's convenient for you.
Probably lonely.
And then we respond back, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm not reading this anymore."
Because it got to be too much.
So it's only you only respond when it's convenient for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whack.
Yeah. So then we just won't respond.
All right.
Right? Do you want us to respond or not? We're trying to have a conversation.
It's probably
with you.
better for everybody not to respond because.
Then don't message us.
Yeah. And
Save it and tell us here in person.
oh, and don't call me real late. Like, Joanna, he called me last night and was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
it was
eating
like
dinner.
It was like 7:45.
It was 8 o'clock. I was like, eating dinner. He's like, "Oh, okay."
What are you eating?
What do you eat?
Well,
yeah, he asked me what he is. No, he forgot exactly what he wanted to talk to me about.
Mid call, he's like, "What did I call you for?"
And I'm just like, all right, look.
You're lucky
I'll
he
talk
didn't.
to
You
you.
didn't answer, and he's like, "Wait, who am I calling?"
I will admit that's happening more and more often. I need to get Prevagen.
Do you feel like your brain is going slowly?
I have experienced a thing that I never thought I would, where you walk into a room and you look around the room and you say to yourself, why did I just walk in this room? But I was going to ask you, hey, can I count on you to come over and feed the dog and house sit, or do I need to get somebody else to do it?
Are you asking questions?
Yeah,
Is that what you originally called him for last night?
But you never got back to me.
About the article? No, you called me about the article.
Yeah, but I was also going to ask you about staying at the house, or at least coming over and making sure the dog gets fed.
Yeah, but then he texts me like 10 minutes later, like, I remember why I called.
That was the real reason. And then when I couldn't remember, I made something up.
He made something up.
Did you
in the
get my
middle.
article up?
No. He was like, it was Sparky. You got to take care of him. We got 2 neckline calls that just came in about Krabby Patties. Did you see those?
Hey, the Krabby Patty, the secret ingredient, I don't know if y'all know, but it's crab. That's why Mr. Krabs is the only crab in SpongeBob. He kills all the other crabs in his crab trap.
Okay, wait a minute. Is this canon or a fan theory?
Well, finish this and then play the next neckline call.
To make the Krusty Krab. Or to make the Krabby Patty. My bad. Anyways, that's all you should know. He's a serial killer.
We have somebody with a different theory.
All right, you got that one?
Yeah. Make sure I am up.
Nico, Joanna, how could you forget? The secret ingredient in Krabby Patties is plankton. Remember? Plankton spent his entire life trying to figure out the secret ingredient, and the day he did, he realized it was plankton, and he went crazy. Anyhow, have a good day, guys. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I don't remember that episode.
I must have not seen that.
I do remember an episode where it goes back, and the reason Plankton and Mr. Krabs are such rivals is because they started out as partners.
Right.
And then Mr. Krabs came up with the Krabby Patty,
canon.
that is canon.
So if you just type into Google secret ingredient 2 and just wait for the wait for the autofill to come up. Krabby Patty is number 2, right under chili and brownies and potato salad. So this is a commonly asked question.
Okay, now let's talk about, you're saying there are a lot of narratives going around on right-wing media about the Democrats sending hurricanes to Florida to mess with the election?
Yeah, so Marjorie Taylor Greene sent several tweets out over the weekend. One was from just October 8th.
They can control the weather.
Yes, she said they can't. It's stop lying about it. Then another one, she said, this is a map of hurricane-affected areas with an overlay of the electoral map by political party. It shows how hurricane devastation could affect the election. Well, she's not the only one. There are other people that are now being influenced by the craziness. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Sitting at some computer somewhere pressing hurricane. And it's not just her. She's now being amplified by right-wing media and the Republican nominee himself.
Has the government figured out how to build a storm into a superstorm that will destroy everything in its path, and then how to aim it right for where they want to aim it? It just happens to miss South Florida, where all the Democrats live. Something strange is going on.
These are Trump counties. And don't tell me for a second that what we're not seeing is a massive government-pushed voter suppression operation.
You know, it's largely a Republican area, so some people say they did it for that reason. I don't even think they're that bad, but maybe they are.
They're sent.
Who were, I recognize Trump's voice. Who were the other people?
He was at a rally. Oh, the other people were, one was somebody speaking outside of a rally with a megaphone. The other one was a broadcaster for...
Well, usually when somebody's yelling into a microphone or into a megaphone, their message is crazy, so...
There's a lot of...
The fact that the Republican candidate, though, is even giving it a mention, it tells you how broken our politics are in this country.
There was a broadcaster for RSBN. I don't know what it stands for, but
okay, yeah, there might be some people out there.
OAN, RSBN, Fox. I mean, there's all these.
Well, but you said it was a guy with a megaphone outside a rally.
I said there were 3 different clips, right? So one was a guy with a megaphone. But you could tell he was either for...
I don't know. Let me hear anybody out there who's planning to vote for Trump in a month. Do you think that the
this
Democrats
stuff
are
absolutely influences people? I mean, if you don't think
let me tell you how crazy that is. Scientists, actual scientists, not jobs with a megaphone, have been telling you for years that global warming, much of it caused by humans, is going to disrupt weather patterns in ways that we're going to see unprecedented storms and flooding, and Florida will probably be underwater in 100 years, or parts of it anyway. Why don't you listen to scientists instead of a crazy dude with
they
a
are saying that
megaphone?
And it's not just the guy. There was a broadcaster on right-wing media saying this. I mean, it is insane. And there is a subset of the population buzz of Trump supporters that do believe in all of these things.
Those have got to be the very, very lowest IQ, 5% lowest IQ, even among Trump followers.
You said the same thing about Trump supporters back in the day, and then you never believe. How could anybody get taken in by this person, by these lies? And then you saw so many more people support him. For some reason, this type of information is sinking in with people.
Well, yesterday, as former President Trump is amplifying false claims about hurricanes, Vice President Kamala Harris was on The View and talked about the behavior and that kind of messaging.
The idea that somebody would be playing political games for the sake of himself, but this is so consistent about Donald Trump. He puts himself before the needs of others. I fear that he really lacks empathy.
All right. Listen, I know we have big MAGA people out here, almost like cult members. So, Cucker, do you believe that Democrats are sending hurricanes to Florida to mess with the elections?
Right.
Padilla seems to fall for a lot of things. Do you believe this? But Kamala Harris also said something yesterday that they're really latching on. She said that there's nothing substantial that she would have done different from Joe Biden. So they're really latching on to Kamala, saying that, yeah, she's pretty much right on the same page with Joe Biden all along.
Hi there, folks. Thanks for coming. And I, Kamala Harris, want to clarify what I said about President Biden and his record. I stand by what I said, and his record is great. He's got a great record, right? He has a lot of records. His favorite record is the Beatles' White Album. That's actually a good one. And records are great. Also, there's the Guinness Book of World Records. Lots of crazy records in there, right? The world's tallest man. Sometimes, I wish Dougie was the world's tallest man when I need help getting something off of a very high shelf, right? Help is good. Hamburger helper. Hamburgers are good. And cheeseburgers, too. Cheese comes from Wisconsin. And
2 hours later.
West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming, and those are all of the states in alphabetical order. Well, wait, where are you all going?
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from Aerosmith to Nirvana to...
On new facilities for cancer burn treatment, along with other hospital upgrades. To learn more, visit umccares.org.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Cash codes continue today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then the cash codes are done for the fall promotion anyway. We'll give out the first cash code shortly after 8 a.m. As with all the cash codes we've been giving out for the past 3 or 4 weeks, you want to enter as many as you can. Pop open that KLAQ mobile app or KLAQ.com. Look for the money bag icon. Enter the cash codes. They expire at midnight every day, but we've only got through Friday that we're doing the cash codes. Every day we give $100 to 10 different winners. So we're serious about giving away a lot of money. And at the end of the contest, when it's all said and done, we got a grand prize of $30,000. You could win that just by entering these cash codes. Find all the details and rules at KLAQ.com or on the KLAQ mobile app. We'll have your first cash code in the 8 o'clock hour, and then we have one every hour through 5 p.m. today. Got a lot on the calendar. Why don't we just jump right into the calendar? Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheese May coming up in just a few minutes, but this is the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events. Today is International Beer and Pizza Day. All right. I picked the wrong month to give up beer and pizza.
You did give up beer, you said, though.
You did?
That's what he told me.
I said
yesterday.
I'd quit drinking. I'm gonna definitely cut way back.
Yeah, no, but you told me on Tuesday, you said, I'm starting today, no more. And then
okay, let me tell you what happened. And then you said, so I can come over and help myself to all your beer? You're not going to drink it?
No, I said, I'll take all the beer off your hands. And
you said beer and any burnables that I have.
Yeah. But then you said, that's fine. I'm not like you. When I start something, I finish it.
Buzz Adams.
I don't think I said that.
Yeah, you did.
You got to roll tape for me to believe I said that.
Mm-hmm. So are you living up to your word?
No, because I got home. Wait, hold on. Hang on just a second. Let me explain. I got home and I was like, yeah, I do have all this beer and I hate to see things go to waste. So I think this is the kind of rationalization that a lot of people go through when they're trying to give up a bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
They say, the only responsible thing for me to do is just
get rid of it all
and then start fresh. Yeah. Isn't that amazing how you can talk yourself into things that obviously make no sense whatsoever? So, I'm going to get rid of that. Then the idea is no more. Today is Emergency Nurses Day.
Woo!
All right.
If you're a nurse in an ER job, is that like a higher prestige or a higher paying job than if you're a nurse in a doctor's office, or same?
A higher intensity, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
are they like the hot shots of the nursing world?
Are you going to keep talking?
Yeah, no.
They call the nurses on the floors floor nurses, and that's the regular type of nursing. Then you have home health care nurses, which are kind of different. The intensity for ER and ICU nurses is much higher, and there is a pay differential, although it's not much. I don't think it's that much, and there is a pay differential if you work nights. But the level of stress and burnout, I not only know and seen.
I can imagine.
But I also have friends who are still working in the ER, and they've been there for 20 years,
Would
30
you say
years.
Some people thrive. They thrive in a pressure situation like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do really well under pressure, and I don't like it all the time, Right. And there's some of these mostly women, I'd say, but there's male and female nurses that have been there for 30 years, still getting up at 7 every night.
Doing this
every
day.
Emergency Nurses Day.
You deserve the world.
Yes.
Today is World Postcard Day and Bullying Prevention Day. If you see people, we'll get back to bullying prevention.
Isn't this like the second bullying prevention day? I feel like we had another one.
They need another one.
The whole month is bullying prevention month. So I might have mentioned it a few days ago that October is bullying prevention month. Birthdays today, comedian Nick Swardson is 48. Apparently, you should not take edibles while in a city called the Mile High City. He said that's why he was so weird in Denver a few months ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. And he is one of my favorite stand-ups. Like, I've listened to his stand-up since before his movies. I knew his movies and stuff.
Before he was Terry Bernardino on 911.
Before he was Terry.
He was
Nick Swardson on Comedy Central Presents.
Sean Lennon is 49 today, the son of John and Yoko. And don't know if you know this, he was born on his father's birthday.
That's not even in the prep, Joanna. That's just off the top of his head.
Oh, wow. All right.
It is in the prep, but I also know it, that Sean Lennon and John Lennon share a birthday. Steve Burns, the original host of Blues Clues, turns 51 today. So you can still hear him on TV. Well, not anymore, but up until earlier this year, he sings the theme song to Young Sheldon.
Oh,
that's Steve Burns who sings that. I could be, I don't know. You know,
I don't know this song.
Oh, I'm thinking the Big Bang Theory one.
No.
That's very
Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
Director Guillermo del Toro is 60 today. Movies that he directed include Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth. He did Blade 2. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did Blade 2. That's my favorite Blade.
No, you've told me before you like Blade 3.
I enjoy Blade 3 with Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
Scott Bakula, who played the guy on Quantum Leap. What was that character's name?
I don't know. He's done way more than that. He's Agent Pride in NCIS New Orleans. He's also
Star Trek Enterprise.
Captain Archer. Yes, Jonathan Archer from Enterprise.
Sam Beckett.
And Sam Beckett from
Dr.
Quantum
Sam
Leap.
Beckett never found his way back to his own dimension. You know, that's how they wrapped up that show?
Yeah.
It's just like, he never got
home. It's like, wow.
Oh my God,
sad
what?
ending.
You?
They never found him?
They just wrapped up the show and said that, you know, that was like the last message. Dr. Sam Beckett never made it back to his own world. Actor Tony Shalhoub, who was Monk, 71 today.
I'm on season 5 of Monk right now, and I just got through it. And it is by far one of the funniest, most well-written television shows.
He's great. Tony Shalhoub is a really funny actor.
I just watched an episode where Stanley Tucci and him dressed like each other for some reason, and they were fighting. Oh, just so good, such good.
Sharon Osbourne is 72. She's keeping Ozzy away from the booze and drugs.
And the weed.
And classic rocker Jackson Browne is 76 today. As I mentioned, today is Bullying Prevention Day. If you see people wearing blue shirts, it could have something to do with with Bullying Prevention Day. Let's commemorate the day with comedian, one of our very good friends, Dustin Ibarra, talking about bullies.
I'm glad I don't go to school now, man. Bullies are so mean, and now they kick your ass and put it on YouTube. You go home, your mom already knows you got your ass kicked. It's like, Mom, I know, sweetie, fat kid cries, got 42,000 hits. Your ass swamping went viral. Congratulations. We got any military in the house tonight? Military? Yeah, I play a lot of Halo. Hell yeah, dude. Same boat. Well, I get freaked out about getting drafted, man. Because all like Iran and North Korea, if I get drafted, like, you guys are screwed, all right? Like, I look like I was made of Build-A-Bear. No one's going to run from me. Like, I'm not until, like, run, Kung Fu Panda's attacking. What do we do? Hurry, Nacho Libre's going to eat us. Somebody do something. I'm not built to fight, man. I saw that movie 300. I would be the only soldier with a shirt on.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus. Our P51 sponsored by 95.5 KLAQ. Tickets at AmigoAirShow.com. The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
this. The hurricane is going to hit pretty hard when it hits Florida. It's on the Gulf side, which is the same one where Helene
hit.
You know, I'm counting in the alphabet: H, I, J, K, L, and then M is Milton. They had 4 named hurricanes between Helene and Milton.
Yeah, so I looked this up. It turns out
some of them are just out in the ocean, so they don't really...
Oh, and it's not just hurricanes. So all storms. So if it starts off as a tropical storm, it gets named, and then it uses the same name if it gets upgraded to a hurricane.
And if it doesn't, they just go to the next letter?
If it doesn't what?
If it doesn't turn into a hurricane, do they still say, well, that counted?
That counted, right.
Yeah, but you can't tell me what KLM... Wait. H was Helene. What was I?
We could probably look it up.
I'm sure we could. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't have experience with hurricanes. If you've lived in I lived in the Midwest in Texas all my life, so I never really had hurricanes. But we had tornadoes in East Texas and Oklahoma. We definitely had tornadoes.
You got them tornadoes.
I'm going to confess something. I used to secretly get super excited when there was like tornado, because you got to do fun stuff like go down and camp out in a basement because you're worried the tornado's going to tear your house up.
No.
We never got hit.
You did have your cellar, though.
Yeah, but we did have a cellar, so you'd go down there and we'd take the little portable black and white TV and try and watch the stuff. And I don't know, it always seemed like an adventure. And then when I got into radio, when the weather got nasty, like a major blizzard or a tornado, I relished that. It's like there's so many people tuning in, and what I'm doing is really, really important. And, probably in Florida, people just want to get the hell out of the way. But you always see a few people who don't listen to the warnings and stick around and, do something crazy like try and go out and surf. Those people are called network weathermen. Isn't that crazy? The weatherman's out there. Anybody who hasn't evacuated is stupid. Meantime, the wind is almost blowing them away.
The cameraman's all like, this sucks.
So I found the list of the names of hurricanes for the 2024 hurricane season. They come up with the names before the season already.
And just dole them out as they
dole them out.
So we know what the next hurricane's going to be.
Yeah, A through V I have right now.
All right.
So what are you interested in?
What followed after Helene?
After Helene was Isaac.
I might have heard something about that. What was after Isaac?
Joyce.
Didn't hear that one. Would have remembered Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling me some stories that are in a new Bob Woodward book. So Bob Woodward did he's done 4 books since Trump's first presidency. And 2 of them he was granted unprecedented access to the White House.
Yeah.
His latest book is called War, and it talks a lot about Trump, but it also talks about Joe Biden. Apparently, Joe Biden uses the F word a lot. He had some very harsh things to say about Benjamin Netanyahu. He called him a liar and a son of a bee, and an effing bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff about Trump, like he has called Putin, the Russian president who's waging war on Ukraine,
our ally,
something like 7 times since leaving office.
7 times.
What, just to check in or
right?
You doing?
What are those conversations about? I would love to know. I mean, that is so important for national security and for anybody voting for this man. I mean, does that not concern you that he's talking to Vladimir Putin?
Not in his capacity as the president of the United States, just as private citizen Trump. A lot of people are upset that he sent Vladimir Putin COVID testing kits during the pandemic.
Yeah, so there's a big anecdote in the story where they say that President Trump sent Vladimir Putin COVID-19 testing equipment during the height of the pandemic. Well, the Trump campaign has categorically denied that revelation. But get this, the Kremlin has just reported that it is true. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told Bloomberg yesterday, we also sent equipment at the beginning of the pandemic. They sent us some.
They sent us some? I lost the thread there. So the Kremlin says, yeah, the United States sent, or President Trump sent some.
No, well, he
COVID
says
stuff.
we sent equipment to them, and they sent us equipment.
The Russians sent us equipment. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess some people are outraged by that. It doesn't register quite as hard for me on that. But War is the new book by Bob Woodward. Joanna, you ready for some Hollywood Cheesemay?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it then.
Cheesemay. Cheesemay.
Joanna's
Hollywood Cheesemay. Gonna tell us more.
Look at Hollywood news. It's the Hollywood Cheesemay. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning to you. Not many people had this on their 2024 bingo card, but Scott Stapp, the lead singer of the newly reunited Creed, is making his debut at the Grand Ole Opry later this month.
Say what?
Right. Stapp will be giving the first ever live performance of If These Walls Could Talk. That's his duet with Dorothy, another artist that we play here.
We do.
Opry members John Party, T. Graham Brown, and Ashley McBride will be on the inner circle the same night, so Nashville resident Stapp will have some high-powered company on the stage on October 23rd. Limp Bizkit and frontman Fred Durst have filed a lawsuit against Universal Music for $200 million, claiming the band never received any royalties until recently. In the lawsuit, Durst's lawyers allege that Limp Bizkit and possibly hundreds of other artists have unfairly had their royalties wrongfully withheld for years due to a fraudulent system created by Universal Music. The suit adds that UMG's failure to issue royalty statements, in particular from 1997 to 2004, the height of the band's fame, and during periods in which they made record-breaking sales, with respect to its most popular album, suggests that UMG was intentionally concealing the true amount of sales and therefore royalties due and owing to Limp Bizkit in order to unfairly keep those profits for themselves. Durst's lawyers also questioned the record company's accounting practices, saying that almost $100,000 were mysteriously charged to the band. According to Billboard, in addition to unpaid royalties, the lawsuit is seeking to void the band's record contract and give the band back the copyrights to its music. And it's also seeking copyright infringement damages. An airline has apologized after playing an R-rated movie with sexual material to passengers during a 10-hour flight. As reported by The Guardian, a Qantas flight from Sydney to Japan suffered technical issues, which resulted in only one film being played on the screen for all of its passengers. The movie in question was 2023's Daddy-O, starring Dakota Johnson as a woman sharing her history, sexual or otherwise, with her cab driver, played by Sean Penn. Daddy-O is rated R for language, sexual material, and brief graphic nudity, and was then shown during the flight, with one passenger apparently describing it as 40 minutes of boobs and penis.
Yeah.
In a statement,
yeah. That sounds like my kind of flight.
Especially the penises, huh?
In a statement,
that is homophobic.
In a statement,
not woke.
I backslide sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's what he said.
In a statement, a spokesman for Qantas said, quote, "The movie was clearly not suitable to play for the whole flight, and we sincerely apologize to customers for this experience. All screens were changed to a family-friendly movie for the rest of the flight, which is our standard practice for the rare cases where individual movie selection is impossible, and we are reviewing how the movie was even selected."
It's been a long time since I flew far enough for there to be an in-flight movie, but the last time I did it was probably 20-something years ago, and all the TVs are in the back of the seat, even back then. Do they still have like the big screen at the front so everybody is subjected to the same movie whether they want to or not?
Oh, babe.
What?
Oh.
What?
No.
You haven't been flying in so long.
Yeah.
You just get on the internet that the plane has, and usually on your phone or laptop, they have some in-flight movies through the internet.
Okay.
It's like
well,
free
it
ones
seems
that
like
you can
Free
choose.
ones that you can access.
if you didn't like the content of the movie,
You could just turn
not
it off.
watch it, right?
But they're saying there was technical issues, so everyone was subjected to this movie that had 40 minutes of penis and boobs.
What was the airline? Qantas, you said?
Qantas.
Yeah, they might do like international flights too, or longer ones that have
Yeah,
the
this one
TVs.
was going from Sydney to Japan.
Yeah.
And it was a 10-hour flight, 10 hours of Dakota Johnson talking to Sean Penn.
Qantas is the only airline that's never had a major accident, according to Rain Man.
Really?
Is that from the movie?
The movie Rain Man.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
Is that a scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he and
It's
his
not as famous as definitely Judge Wapner, but
Yeah, well, definitely Wapner. I get my underwear at Kmart.
Wake up, babe. A new popcorn bucket just dropped. The Gladiator 2 popcorn bucket has arrived. And my first thought was, oh, thank God, it's just a helmet. The popcorn bucket is shaped like the helmet or mask a fighter wears in the arena, specifically the one Maximus wears in the first film. The popcorn is retrieved from the top of the bucket rather than through the mouth or something else that's weird. The long-awaited...
Oh, that's cool.
It also comes with a cup holder for it that also looks like one of the masks.
That's his famous mask.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, there's DJ Doom. MF Doom.
Somebody
MF
says it looks
Doom.
like MF Doom's mask.
I just read a whole article on that. How they're like, no, it's not an MF Doom themed bucket.
Well, MF Doom got the mask from Gladiator.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. The long-awaited sequel is one of the most highly anticipated movies of the year, where Ridley Scott returns to direct. Gladiator 2 is set to hit theaters on November 22nd.
Thank you, Ridley Scott. Give us exactly what we want, which is something that was just like the first one.
That's all we want.
I saw the extended trailer before Joker 2, and it is just like the first one. So Pedro Pascal plays a Roman general. Then you got some snooty emperor who's like a real dandy. It looks just like the first one, except they fill the Colosseum up with water and have sea battles.
Sea battle.
Well, they actually did that in ancient Rome.
I am well aware of that, Nico. You know that I know that.
Did he tell you that?
No.
No, but you know I know that.
Yes, you both know enough about it. It's not a competition.
But it subtly kind of is.
Right.
I mean, with you guys, everything is a competition.
Anything you know about Rome, I know even more.
That is your Roman Empire.
I know more than about Rome than you.
You guys gonna go see that together? Or?
No.
Maybe.
Nah. Nico and I don't go to movies together very often.
Aw.
We don't leave our houses very often.
True. Well, finally, Lisa Marie Presley's memoir came out yesterday with the help of her daughter, Riley Keough, and it's called From Here to the Great Unknown. And in it, Lisa Marie reveals some pretty crazy stuff, and probably the most insane claim is how she kept her son Benjamin's body on dry ice at her home for 2 whole months.
That's sad. I wish somebody, it almost sounds like a cry for help, and it also has some huge RFK Jr. energy attached to it somehow.
Famous people, not always like us. Benjamin was 27 when he died in 2020. He took his own life. And in the memoir, Lisa Marie says, quote, that my house has a separate casitas bedroom, and I kept Ben in there for 2 months. There is no law in the state of California that you have to bury someone immediately.
But maybe there should be.
Maybe there should be after this.
I guess there's no law that you can't cut off a whale's head and attach it to the top of your car like a Christmas tree either.
You didn't say I couldn't do it.
The room Lisa Marie kept Benjamin in was kept at 55 degrees to help preserve his body. Lisa Marie went on to share that over those 2 months, she got so used to him, caring for him, and keeping him there, and said, quote, I felt so fortunate that there was a way that I could still parent him, delay it a bit longer so that I could become okay with laying him to rest.
Look, I know this all sounds really weird, but I think that losing a child
right.
Losing a child early.
Losing a child.
It's probably the worst thing to ever happen to a parent, and I can only imagine what it was like to be the mother to a baby that turned into a man that's passed away, and you would want to still mother them a little.
Okay, but
it's understandable.
Most people don't do that.
But most people don't get to keep their son in a 55-degree room on dry ice.
Yeah,
and
most people
then
don't have the option
bring
to
in
do
a
that.
tattoo artist.
With the dry. Wait. What about the tattoo artist?
Here we go. For her part, Riley says that she and her mom decided to get tattoos that matched Benjamin's. So they had a tattoo artist come to the house to see Benjamin's tattoos in person on his body, and said, quote,
"You couldn't take pictures?"
Right, send them to the tattoo artist. Riley said, quote, "I've had an extremely absurd life, but this moment is in the top 5. Benjamin's body was eventually laid to rest at Graceland." Elsewhere in the memoir, there's more. Lisa Marie reveals that when she got with Michael Jackson, he was a virgin, and he was 35 at the time, and said, quote,
He was probably a virgin as far as women went.
Oh, my God. She also addressed the child molestation accusations, saying, quote, "I never saw a thing like that, and I personally would have killed him if I had."
Mm-hmm. So you got the dry ice. You've got a 2-week-old corpse. If this
2
was
month?
any 2-month old corpse.
Who knew you could keep it that long?
If this was around Halloween, it would have been a really, really good Halloween display.
Oh, my God.
Like it would have been coming up like smoke. And then you got, just prop it out there and put the bucket of candy in his lap.
This is a tragedy.
That took a return. But, she kept it for 2 months, and Benjamin died in July, so maybe it could have been a Halloween decoration.
Did she ever go to counseling? Because it really seems like that is a sign of some real mental distress.
It kind of does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then rich famous people are just weird and eccentric like that.
What did Lisa Marie end up dying from?
God, I can't remember.
Let's see.
Did she?
Let's see.
Did she take her own life?
No, I don't think she did. All right. Hold on, I will find out.
I got you.
Oh, good. Hit it, Nico.
Cardiac arrest. Natural causes. Maybe a small bowel obstruction.
Oh,
no,
my.
No drugs.
No drugs. Well, with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Spanish. Gracias.
Language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Oh, we're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz and the Morning Show, 95.5 The Q.
All right, tomorrow, Renard Johnson, who's running for mayor of El Paso, is going to be in. Then on Friday, Brian Kennedy, who's running for mayor, is going to come in and talk on the show. Did you get that mailer from Brian Kennedy?
I did, yeah.
Boy, I got a lot of questions about that. It's like a little miniature newspaper. In fact, it's bigger than the weekly newspaper that comes out in my hometown. But it has like facts about Brian. And it's like he was a bodyguard for Prince.
He's a poker champion.
He speaks 5 languages
Right.
and worked in military intelligence and all this stuff. It's just like, holy moly. There's a lot to unpack there. But we will start having some of the candidates coming in as we get closer and closer, less than a month from Election Day. Got a few calls off the neckline. Remember, you can call us anytime during the show, after the show, middle of the night, over the weekend, doesn't matter. Call the neckline, leave a message for us, 844-805-NECK. That's 844-805-6325 for the neckline.
Hey, also, I just got here. I-10, avoid I-10 going west, starting from Zaragoza, dude. That's gridlocked. You're not going anywhere, dude. This is at a standstill. It's ridiculous, bro. But yeah, avoid it at all costs. Take Loop 375 if you're going west. I-10 going west towards towards Yarborough from Zaragoza, it's blocked, dude. Don't even go there. They're all at a stop, so it's a parking lot out there. You're going to be a shopping cart. All right, later.
All right, thanks for the heads up. Fortunately, Joanna can get right on that and find out what's happening.
Traffic with Joanna Barba.
Well, I think he summed it all up. That's basically it. I-10 West before Yarborough had a collision. Now, all main lanes of travel are now open, but backup does extend to Zaragoza. So you'll want to find an alternate route, like the caller said, like Loop 375, or expect delays if you are heading in that direction already.
Can we build a highway over I-10?
just so people
so
can
we have a
avoid I-10.
secondary one, just in case.
Got another call off of the neckline.
Morning, guys. Early bird here. Yeah, brother. 2 topics. The hurricane deal. Yeah. I grew up on the East Coast, and I was in Annapolis at the time at the family beach home when Hurricane Hugo hit. It was pretty bad. So I guess they go over and over through the alphabet when it comes to the names. And I remember there was also a Hurricane Irene or something like that, Hurricane Florence. And on the topic of Biden, you all remember when he got caught on the hot mic when Obama was elected. You know, him and Obama shook hands at the podium, and he leaned in and he said, "Hey, this is a big effing deal."
Yeah,
and he was caught on a hot mic. You know, that was back when Obama and him first got won the election to get in the presidency, in the vice presidency. You guys have a good morning.
Yeah, he's right.
We were commenting that this new book by Bob Woodward, Joe Biden uses the F word a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he should have busted that out more because, what does he use when he's speaking in public and he wants to use a swear word? There's like some old-timey...
Gee golly.
Right. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier or something. People say they don't know what he's talking about because he uses this outdated lingo, but everybody understands the F word. Biden called Benjamin Netanyahu an effing bad guy. A lot of stuff coming out, and if you can't just dismiss that because Bob Woodward has written books about Trump. He's the guy who let us know that Trump's Secretary of Defense heard him talk about soldiers being losers. So if you believe what he's written in his other books, yeah, probably like almost all the politicians probably throw foul language around, right?
Wait, is he saying it's a negative? I don't think it's a negative. Why is it a negative for a president to use the F word?
I don't know. He's just so old. He just uses, like I say, uses such quaint euphemisms and
That's
stuff.
fine. in public, yeah, as long as your public face is not like
He's all that fart narker.
Yeah, fart narker would be even a little strong.
How's it going, guys? Just got done listening to y'all's Tuesday podcast or Buzz on Demand, whatever you want to call it. I got intrigued about that segment y'all were making fun of Trump, saying that people were genetically inclined to commit crimes. Well, actually, there's been multiple studies that say that genetics do play a role in that. Like one study, I quote, "Yes, genetics may play a role in a person's likelihood of committing a violent act, but there's no single gene that determines whether someone will commit."
There you go.
Yeah, right.
You just proved our point, Padilla.
Right. You're reading this thing, and I don't think you're comprehending
what you're reading.
Words you're reading. Let me hear that again. Padilla really needs some help figuring stuff out, man. And I do my best.
Well, you know what it really says to me
is that he's got racist tendencies.
No, but that
he does.
That people try to extract from Trump what they think he means when he just, because what was the thing that Trump said? He was at a rally and he said, "There's a lot of bad genes."
He wasn't. He was being interviewed on a radio show by
Hugh Hewitt. That's right,
Hugh Hewitt.
Now a murderer, I believe this. It's in their genes. And we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now.
That being a murderer is in your genes, and we have a lot of bad genes, which I guess he's saying we have a lot of murderers here.
Let me just hear Padilla out. It is hard to listen to this because he's just making and he's the study he's reading is saying the opposite of the point he's trying to make, and I don't think he realizes it.
Like one study, I quote, yes, genetics may play a role in a person's likelihood of committing a violent act, but there's no single gene that determines whether someone will commit a murder. So there are genetics. And then there's another.
Okay, Padilla, genetics may play a factor in somebody's predisposition for anything, but you just read they haven't found one gene for that, which means you can't chalk it up.
And by the way, all these studies that you went on and looked up, Trump didn't look any of those up. This is just a gut feeling. This is just like, at his core, he is mistrustful and thinks that poor people, especially poor people of color, are somehow lesser than. And your last name is Padilla. And I'm wondering how you square that away, because he was talking about people, again, it was immigrant bashing. And he's painting with a really broad brush there and saying that he's okay. So here, let me just finish what Padilla's saying, because I don't know how tangled up he's going to get himself here.
There are genetics. And then there's another study that said, quote, there are many genetic factors associated with criminal behavior, traits like psychopathy. I don't know how to say that.
Psychopathy.
Yeah. I think you might be a little out of your depth here, Padilla.
Neuroticism, impulsivity, manipulation, and
how can you possibly think that you understand these fairly complex studies that you're quoting when you can't pronounce any of the words?
Right.
No, I'm saying that seriously. How do you think, I've got this figured out? You don't even know the words that you're saying.
Well,
maybe ask a friend to help you.
It said the word genetics in there somewhere.
Right. So Trump said genetics or genes. This said genes. Therefore,
genes.
Ergo.
Capacity for empathy. So.
Okay. Now you sound like a first grader. Trying to read a book.
Look, so
Padilla, good God.
I think what he's looking at is, they've done a lot of studies on murderers and serial killers in prisons and things like that, which they've noticed that the tendencies that they all have certain mental health problems, right?
They're not placing it on an entire class of people like immigrants or black people or Mexicans. That is what Trump is doing, and I don't see how you don't see that.
Right.
Also, again, your name is Padilla. He's basically saying that if people from south of the border, whether it's Argentina or Mexico or wherever, if they have bad genes, you've got those same genes.
Yeah, you have the same genes as them. Well, I don't have murder genes. What do you mean? Well, what are you talking about? Because
here's and this is pretty complicated, and I certainly don't have a degree in genetics, but if somebody has a family history of mental illness and depression, they're more likely to have certain genetic markers that might make them more likely to have.
Sure, there's a ton of factors. Poverty, being abused as a child.
I mean, those are environmental factors.
Right.
Those are things that happen to you. It's the old nature versus nurture, or to put it in simpler terms, what the two Randolph brothers bet on in Trading Places. Yeah.
Limited capacity for empathy. So there's genetic traits that can get passed down that make somebody more prone to committing a crime. So he wasn't full of it. Actually, y'all are. So thanks.
We're the ones who are full of it. Trump was not full of it.
But listen, do you think Trump has ever bothered to read any studies about genetics? No, it's just his gut reaction. Those people are predisposed to be criminals or to be violent. If there's anybody that's predisposed to be violent, it's Trump. He's always at his rallies telling people, fight, beat him up. He suggested the cops have 24 hours to do whatever they want without any repercussions. Trump is the one who's got some kind of disposition toward being violent.
DJ in our app chat says, Padilla has confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the psychological term for the human tendency to only seek out information that supports one position.
Okay, but
idea.
Also the fact, you were trying to read these words that are pretty common words. I mean, they're like high school level words like psychopathy, that you can't do that. Neuroticism, right. The fact that you can't even read the words tells me that I'm not really going to go to you as an expert.
Oh, sweet potatoes. Thank you, Padilla, for giving us such a beautiful example of the state of the general population at this point trying to interpret, basically read, which you can't even do, scientific literature. Please, general public, PSA here. If you don't understand the research, don't quote it.
Yeah, and if you can't read it as you're reading it, don't quote it.
Actually read the article. Don't quote it. You go into YouTube and listen to some dunce spout off about how, oh, you need to eat dirt. Oh, the carnivore diet this. Oh, hurricanes are being controlled by the government. Just stop, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
see, a lot of people think somebody like Padilla is just a lost cause. You're never going to be able to talk sense to him. I think you could
Padilla's
still
a lot
reach
more,
somebody.
Yeah, I think Padilla's actually more reasonable than Tucker.
He's more reasonable, smooth brain.
Yeah.
He's
on one track.
You know, it's almost like he needs a remedial, people need to put him on the right track.
Well, you know what? I don't blame anybody for thinking. People might not know that what traits are genetic or not if they aren't really paying attention to that kind of stuff. You might not really know. Murder is not one of those things. Now, I think they've tried to do this for a lot. Like a lot of racists have used studies to try
That's
and
called
say
scientific racism.
Scientific racism.
There was
about the black people have a lower IQ. Like they would say genetically they have lower IQs, and that would be not true. I mean, those studies would be not true.
The most famous example of that was a book that came out in 1994 called The Bell Curve by Charles Murray, and it made the case that certain races, and what do you know? What a surprise. They're not the races of the person who wrote the book.
Right.
Are genetically predisposed to be of lower intelligence.
Right.
It's pretty junky science. I got to tell you, that is not, it is certainly not the mainstream consensus.
No.
Sorry, guys, last call. This is for Padilla. Hey, Padilla. Bro, don't try to do Nazi apologia, bro. Just don't do it, bro. As much as you want to believe you do, you don't have a seat at the table when it comes to Trump and his Nazi friends, bro. Don't do it. So if Schindler's List is to be as closely accurate to what happened during the Holocaust is to be believed, even the Jews that helped out the Nazis got exterminated.
What?
Don't be that guy. Don't be Goldberg. Think for yourself. Don't do Nazi apologist stuff. Your last name is Padilla, bro. You have no seat at that table, bro.
Right. I mean, if this goes to the dark place that a lot of people are predicting that it would go to under a second Trump presidency, they're not going to stop with just people who come to the country as immigrants or refugees or asylum seekers or whatever. They're going to turn the tables, and you're going to find yourself not part of that table, not sitting with that group. That's for sure.
So I think what he was talking about, the Nazi apology, apologists. Well, you're offering a Nazi apology. I think he was talking about how there's a little eugenics in this statement that Trump made, and kind of a hint of eugenics, and in what Padilla is kind of trying to justify, which is that there was this idea in the early 20th century that you could make better people, a better society, if you just got rid of the things you didn't like disabled people,
low IQ,
people of different.
After that reading, Padilla, I'm afraid maybe you would have been on the bad list.
Oh, people of different colors. I mean, they would say, well, we can get.
Poor people. Why are these people poor? It must be something in their genes that makes them poor.
It turns out, no, it's not.
Let's see. A couple other calls, and we got to take a break. I don't want to get too far behind. Also, I don't want to beat up. Again, Padilla, you need to open your eyes. You need to listen to what some of these callers are telling you.
Padilla. Everyone is eating your lunch, bro. It's early, so I guess everyone's eating your breakfast. Oh, man. Thanks for the entertainment.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And, of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Oh, it's bonitas. Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice.
And every game on a big screen. Ojos Locos Sports Cantina, La Casa del Balón.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
All right, we're moving right along. Do we have another break this hour, Joanna?
We do.
Okay. I had a call on Monday about Joker 2 with Lady Gaga.
Folie à deux?
Folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
No, just folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
Mm-hmm.
Folie à deux.
Say it after me. Folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
And I had pretty much made up my mind I wasn't going to go see it because it had such bad reviews, and I really did like the first movie. You know,
Are you glad you saw it?
Yeah, it's actually, the more time passes since I saw it, the more I realize it's a really kind of secretly brilliant movie.
Good morning, guys. It's Steven. So, I went to go see Joker, Folie à Deux, Joker 2 for short, over the weekend. And I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. I'm not going to do any spoilers. But I will tell you, I have never seen a more deliberate self-sabotage by a director. Like, I'm serious. There might even be, like, legal ramifications. But, like, it's basically a turn around and burn the bridge behind you scenario. So, yeah. And you can't even blame the musical aspects of this movie, because without it, guys, this movie has nothing else going for it. So I'm going to do something that I never do. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. But I'm going to tell people, go ahead and look up the ending. I'm saving you 2 hours. Trust me.
Okay.
Just wiki.
I'm playing this to say the ending was brilliant. Like the last scene of the movie is brilliant. I'm going to avoid doing any spoilers on the air, too. I think I might have convinced Joanna that she does need to go see Joker 2.
Oh, really, Joanna?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go see it this weekend.
I cannot stand musicals, so there's no way I'm going to go see it.
Okay, all right. So I wrote a review. I don't know when that's going to get posted, but I wrote my review, and it does have spoilers, but it says don't read any further if you don't want spoilers.
You give
so I
a
think
fair
that's fair.
Spoiler warning.
I do. Did you have? Are we going to post that article today?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I agree. The music numbers were a little too much, and they were all like 100-year-old songs, like Cole Porter songs from the 20s and 30s.
Do you think that had more?
Overdid it.
But was there a reason for the Cole Porter? Like, do you think they meant to use them in a way to showcase something? Why would they go with old songs? Because they didn't have copyrights, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a stylistic choice, I think.
Like, there's no deeper meaning to that?
Yeah, I mean...
without giving us... Okay. Without giving us... Okay.
I think all of the musical sequences are signifying that Arthur Fleck, Joker, is fantasizing. You know, and as I say, in the article, you can read, I really think it's actually a brilliant movie. The last scene of it is amazing. I told Joanna what the last scene was.
Yeah.
And you agreed.
You
that
gave
sounds
me chills
great.
when
Right.
you told me.
When I told you
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so boy, there's so little I can say. But do you remember in the first movie, Arthur Fleck thought he was in a relationship with the neighbor in his building, right?
Yeah.
Played by Zazie Beetz.
And then we find out, it was all a lie.
No, it was just all in his head. So the Joker, I think a lot of people expected, okay, he's going to turn into a supervillain, somebody who's worthy of fighting Batman. But that's not what this movie is about at all. This is about a weak man, below average, probably of intelligence, severe emotional problems and mental instability. Society's turned his back on him. This guy is never going to be a match for Batman.
He's fleckless.
This is clearly not the Joker that you know from comics and previous movies at all. And I really don't feel like I can say much more than that.
Don't say more than that.
What if I can't stand musicals? Like, I literally cannot.
You're not going to like this.
Okay, I cannot stand musicals.
I know. I have lots of friends who are like, I just don't like musicals.
I really don't, yeah. They don't help me see the story move forward.
I could have done with 3 or 4, 5 max music numbers, but the 15 or 20 or whatever they had in there, it's like every 5 minutes they're going to go into another sequence where it's a musical.
I was reading, apparently Lady Gaga had to train herself to sing poorly.
Right.
Because her character, Harley Quinn, I guess, is not a singer in the movie. So she wanted to sound like she was an amateur.
I mean, Lady Gaga is one of the great singers in the world. So here's a little example of some of them. And again, these are 100-year-old songs. And I'm probably the only person under the age of 100 that actually knows most of them. And I still didn't care for that part of it at all.
For once in my life.
Oh, and also Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix sang
Johnny Cash
in the Johnny Cash movie, so he could sing better than this. So not only is it full of music, it's songs you're probably not going to know and sung badly.
In my life, I have someone who needs me. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day.
Let's see. Got a couple of calls here. Again, I'm bending over backwards, folks. Not to give any spoilers, but I think Joker 2 is actually very good.
Listening to you guys talk about the Joker 2 without giving any spoilers, but at the same time, I feel like you just gave all the spoilers in the world. I really don't care, but I'm sure some people do. Just thought I'd share my feedback as I heard Buzz talking about his non-spoiler Joker 2 rant.
Well, I described the first movie. That's not a spoiler, right? And I said the second movie kind of continues in that vein. And anybody who's like, I wanted to see him get Joker doesn't have any superpowers, but become a formidable criminal mastermind.
He's supposed to be the chaos to Batman's order.
Yeah, but it ain't him.
Is there another character in the movie that do they show different Jokers and you're like, oh, maybe that guy's the Joker, maybe that guy's the Joker, maybe that guy's the Joker?
I'm just going to talk about the first movie.
Okay.
He inspired people because he, killed these bullies on a subway, and then he killed Murray Franklin, who is the version of Johnny Carson in Gotham, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He kills him on live TV. This is all from the first movie. Some people treat him like a hero. This is he's an anti-hero. But he's not. Like I say, he's pathetic. His life is pathetic, and that's all it is. And I think it calls out toxic fan culture in a way. Real Batman fans, especially if you were waiting for Joker to turn into a criminal genius, you're going to be disappointed. But I don't think that I've done any spoilers here at this point. Anyway.
Definitely not the big one you told me, so.
Right.
Which only enticed me, so I think I'm going to go see it this weekend.
Yeah. Last scene. Phenomenal. God, is there any way Joaquin Phoenix could get nominated again for the same role? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Okay, that would be crazy.
Now, I diverge from the mainstream. Most of the reviews, and this is critics and audiences alike, are pretty negative. Some of them extremely negative. And you looked up on Rotten Tomatoes. What did Rotten Tomatoes have it at?
33.
33 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm not a thinker, but it's a stinker. I give it the finger. Rotten Tomatoes is not wrong. Lady Gaga couldn't save it. Wonder why they made it. And Joker 2, the joke's on us.
thought it was great. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Nico's got news. We also got Coldplay tickets to give away. Win them before you could buy them, and haunted house tickets, all coming up in the 8 o'clock hour.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job.
Bonitas, and every game on a big screen. Ojos Locos Sports Cantina, La Casa del Balón.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Joanna has Joanna, also, are we keeping an eye on I-10? It was a real traffic problem. I bet a lot of people are wondering if that is still going on or if it's managed to clear it up.
I'll find that out.
Joanna said that we have a phone call, a live call, and Nico told me that we have a few neckline calls, and we need to get back into the news, and I got Coldplay tickets to give away. I don't have my Skype open, Joanna. Can you just tell me who's on the line?
Line 1 is Stoner Guy.
Hey, what's up, Stoner Guy?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Well, I was gonna play your neckline call.
So Stoner Guy wants to know who this Bobby Bones is that people keep talking about.
Oh, no.
Gas on the fire.
So Bobby Bones is a national radio show?
Yeah, mostly on country stations.
Buzz's mortal enemy.
No. He's just... Listen, he now he's on TV and he makes a lot of money and he's super famous and he's almost like a celebrity himself now, and his show's boring. That's all I'm saying. Every time I've listened to the show, I'm like, gee, how could I make as much money and as Bobby Bones does it? So I tune in his show and it's like they don't do anything. They mostly play music.
I didn't know, but he's based out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah. They're originally out of Austin. I mean, he really exploded nationally about 8 or 10 years ago, probably.
He was on Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah. So it's pettiness and jealousy on my part. This is a guy who makes a lot more money than I do, and I don't think he deserves it compared to what I deliver. I should be getting that kind of cash. Very petty.
Exactly. Your show is far more superior.
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
I thought
man.
you had not even heard of Bobby Bones, though.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay.
I don't like country.
Yeah, right. What else is going on, Stoner Guy?
Man, so this price gouging situation, I wanted to give you a situation, see what you think about it.
Yeah.
So if you're saying the price of meat goes up, right, and to where the point where you're saying nobody should pay it, so then the price of meat goes down. Well, as somebody that says they hate food waste, that would be a lot of meat that goes to waste, man.
But the market will adjust way quicker than any government regulation will. The market will adjust to this. If the price is set too high and people don't buy it anymore, the meat producers and the grocery stores will say, "Well, we're charging too much. We've got to lower the prices."
Or you will have only people that can pay for the steak or have comfortable enough money to pay for it buying steak, and then a huge segment of people not.
Yeah. But that doesn't. That doesn't happen any more than it already does. I mean, some people probably don't buy. Maybe some people don't like steak. But if it gets too high, people are going to respond, and it's called the invisible hand, according to economist Adam Smith, who said that. Wait a minute, am I losing you, Stoner Guy?
Yeah, dude, totally. I'm not going to act like I know economics or anything.
All right. Okay, thank you, buddy. Thanks for the call today.
I just wanted to pose the situation, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I'm smart enough to know what I do not know.
Hey.
Listen, and that is such a great quality for anybody, regardless of how smart they are, to know that you don't know what you don't know.
I know how stupid I am.
Yeah, right. Okay. Thanks, Stoner Guy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, all
right, we'll see you.
No, honestly, I know how stupid I am.
Like, we had a call earlier from, and I'm not saying Padilla's stupid. I'm not saying that, but we had a call from Padilla. It was kind of a disaster and all over the map, and he was making all kinds of scientific claims that he clearly didn't understand. I get the sense that Padilla knows that he is not the sharpest tool in the shed, right?
I don't even know if we don't have to compare intelligence like that. And nobody thinks of themselves as dumb, okay? Nobody just walks around thinking like that. So,
like, nobody says I am of average intelligence or slightly below.
I don't think people's that natural inclination is to think, oh, I don't know anything.
But then you got people like, and these are the ones that drive me crazy, like Smooth Brain.
Yeah.
Who thinks he's so smart. That is more of a personality flaw than somebody just.
Oh, do you want to play his call?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just stupid. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just going to rile people up. I mean, I would, but didn't you have some calls you wanted to play, or should we just get back into the news?
No, definitely have some calls that I want to bring up. So this is back to inflation or price gouging. And Buzz was talking about how he had to switch from steak to lamb chops.
I had to switch from steak to lamb chops. That is oh man. Were you holding a glass of wine at the ante while you said those words? That's crazy. From steak to lamb chops, bro. I thought Nico's generational wealth was insane.
What?
Bro.
Hold on.
Come on, bro. Some of us are...
They sell it at Albertsons, just the grocery store, and the lamb chops are red meat, and they have not experienced the same kind of inflation that steak has. So I don't understand why. I mean, does that come off
fancy.
As highfalutin?
Yes, you and your lamb chops.
I didn't get my steak.
Oh, sorry. He's saying what everybody else is eating.
Come on, bro. Some of us are over here eating huevito con weenie or sopa con frijoles, and you're here with steak. Damn, bro. Ron Swanson over here.
Yeah. I call it a meat tornado.
Hey, man, sopita and frijoles is top tier.
It is
right?
delicious.
You know, one of my favorite meals, and if I were a cook, I would make it, are...
Sopita?
No, beans. Beans with like ham hock in it. Brown beans. And, you know, that's what we had that at least once a week. And I had friends sometimes who would come over and it was bean night and they refused to eat it. Like, to them, it was gross. I love it. It's got some cornbread on the side, even better. So, now, I'm not eating caviar at Christmas like Nico. Yeah. Did you ever give Rose Hips the horse some of the caviar for Christmas?
Can
Let him
horses
celebrate.
eat caviar?
You bitch. Rose Hips was the old-timey, just old family horse. All right, it wasn't my personal horse.
Yeah, but Rose Hips are
Did
the
you ride
kind of name that
Rose Hips?
Did I ride Rose Hips?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my great-grandfather had a ranch and like a family farm in Fort Hancock, and so there was like, you know, it was just country. It was just like country. Fort Hancock's this flat little country land. It wasn't anything special.
I got another call about
wait.
steak. You want me to play this one since it's on the topic?
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm so glad you're bringing up how the steak price is just went up, bro. I love steak. Trust me. I went to Albertsons like maybe about a month ago, and I bought some steak. I bought some expensive steak, like some New York strip, and then I bought some like not so expensive steak, like some chuck. But the way I marinate the chuck, it comes out just as tender as New York. I don't marinate the New York. I just throw it on the grill and dry season it, eat it that way. But the cheap steak, yeah, you got to marinate it so it breaks down all that collagen and it makes it, you know, tender. It makes it good. But yeah, I went to Albertsons and I was like, damn, $40-something for 3 pieces of steak. I had to really contemplate my life choices there. I mean, I love steak, but I don't love it that much. So what I did, so I can get like my steak fix, I bought a big bag of beef jerky and some like pistachios and like a red beer, and that definitely got my steak craving fixed. But
well, that's a staple of any healthy diet. Beef jerky and a red beer.
And then I've been looking at the Albertsons ad because it comes on every Wednesday. So I don't know if they have any sales on steaks. I haven't looked at it this morning, but yeah, every Wednesday is when the new Albertsons ad comes out, guys. But hopefully they have some T-bones on sale or something. Have a go, guys.
All right, appreciate it. Do you remember we went through something a couple of years ago where I ordered some wings to go along with a pizza that I ordered?
Oh, yeah.
And the wings were 3 times more expensive. And I would ask the people, wait. Because I know my order and I know what it normally comes to, and it was $15 higher.
Oh, so I don't order wings anymore.
I laid off the wings.
Yeah.
They got too expensive. That's how the market works.
No, I don't want the wings anymore.
Yeah, but Wingstop is still there, and so is...
people are still eating wings.
Yeah, people are still buying those expensive wings. See, that's the point, that when some people are comfortable with the prices, but some people aren't, and that's when the problems happen.
Well, when it comes to staples like meat or groceries, most people don't want to cater to an exclusive audience that can only afford. That's what Whole Foods is for. If you want to spend money, go to Whole Foods. Everything's more expensive there all the time, always. Mm-hmm. That's where rich people shop. Most people are not rich, most people respond to market forces and prices.
I go to Food King, and the steak is still pretty expensive.
Yeah, true.
Tracy called in to kind of correct us on the story about the shooting. I can't remember the names.
You got a correction?
Kind of.
Corrections and retractions.
Ralph Jarl is the young man who was shot by
Andrew Lester.
By Andrew Lester, who was a homeowner, and
so we confused it. There was the one where a person parked
into the driveway,
but that's not this one.
No, what's this one?
This is where the young man, Mr. Jarl, went to the wrong house to pick up his siblings. He thought his siblings were
to the door.
He went to the door he thought that it was the house where his siblings were at, which was next door.
And is the narrative kind of, well, this old racist man saw a black man on his porch and just started blasting away?
Yeah, he shot through the door. Here's Tracy.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Buzzy got a little confused. The guy that shot the kid, that was not the driveway incident. That guy murdered some young lady who was in a car who accidentally pulled in his driveway. This young guy came to a house looking for his younger siblings, knocked on the wrong door, and the guy shot him through the door. So similar incident, similar idiot, but different circumstances, different victim. Bye.
Yeah, it's important to get it right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Appreciate
absolutely.
Back, Joanna, we got any traffic update, especially about I-10 westbound? No. Okay.
I kind of do want to play Smooth Brain's call.
Oh, if you do, let's do it after a break.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
This break. Right.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get that break you're asking for. Today is Bullying Prevention Day, and it is Bullying Prevention Month in October.
And you decided to bully me today when you said that I know what penises
That's right.
and boobs were.
Listen, it's not bullying if you're just like
razzing.
It's not bullying when you two are as close.
It's just breaking balls. There's a difference between bullying and breaking balls.
Yeah. You guys are friends.
Here is Chris Rock talking about bullies.
We need bullies, man. You think kids were nice to Mark Zuckerberg in high school? Shit, he invented Facebook after somebody smacked him in the face with a book. He invented Facebook just to get friends. We need bullies. Pressure makes diamonds. Not hugs. Well, hug a piece of coal and watch what you get. You get a dirty shirt. I'm telling you, we need bullies. That's why there's so many fat kids in school right now.
Oh, jeez.
Because there's nobody to take their lunch money. You know what they buy with all that money? Seconds.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
His people, he's here.
Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Hey, Joanna, to your knowledge, have we ever played a Coldplay song, like as part of the music rotation?
Here on this station?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Nothing, they don't have any like rockers?
Coldplay. No Coldplay in our system.
You mean they don't have like
Really?
a single just rager or something that could pass as rock?
Viva La Vida?
Here, let me play one of their songs and see if we can find one that, you know, kicks out the jams. Nope.
Well, that's not it.
So we're going to have Coldplay tickets to give away. Like what you like, man. I'm sure there's going to be I bet you they're going to sell out tickets.
This
on Friday.
one, that Viva La Vida is like their banger.
This is a good one.
Most bangers start with string section.
But like a poppy string.
Yeah. It did. I kind of like that.
This is a good one, yeah.
Let's let a pair of tickets go. Win them before you can buy them. They go on sale Friday. It's probably going to sell out.
Yes.
Is it at the Sun Bowl?
It's at the Sun Bowl.
That's got to be, right? Yeah, this is a major concert. Oh, I'm getting tired just listening to it.
Say what you will, but I already told our boss, put me down for a
You're
pair.
Really? You're like Lamb of God. Love it.
Love it.
Coldplay. Love it.
I am a fan.
Freaking Vampire Weekend, probably.
I love Vampire Weekend.
The Wicked soundtrack? Yeah.
You have eclectic music taste, Joanna.
Oh, cool.
That too.
And you go to concerts by yourself.
Yeah. What of it?
All right, caller number 10. Let me give you the studio line. Joanna,
Jacob
I'll set you up
Esparza
with
is
these
always
tickets.
like, why is it caller 10 all the time? Can't you make another number, like 11 or 9?
You brought this up in the meeting.
Yeah, it's caller number 10. 915-910-4995. That is 915-910-4995. And caller 10.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a jam right there.
All right. Okay. All right, caller number 10.
All right.
Go ahead. I got to stop. It's too early in the day for me to fall asleep. We'll have more Coldplay tickets. They go on sale this Friday. Nico, while Joanna is getting a winner there, do you have a couple other news stories you want to hit?
Yeah, definitely.
What else is going on?
All right. Well, the Supreme Court is considering whether to uphold the Biden administration's ghost gun ban. Justices heard arguments in the case yesterday. Ghost gun kits currently can be assembled into weapons without being traced back through serial numbers. The White House wants the kits to be regulated the same as handguns and other firearms. Chief Justice John Roberts questioned the argument that building a gun kit was similar to working on a car. Meanwhile, conservative Justice Samuel Alito appeared to signal skepticism over the ban by asking if a blank notepad and pen could be considered a grocery list.
Okay.
Like, is the gun isn't built yet? So is a kit to build your own gun the same as buying a gun?
I was reading a story about this. They gave an example of a guy, his teenage daughter, was killed by a gun that somebody put together via a kit. So he was interested to find out how, and that person was also a teenager. So in the wake of his daughter's tragic murder, he wanted to see, well, how easy is it for a teenager who, otherwise couldn't get a gun to get a gun. And so he went online using his daughter's identity and said it was just like so simple. There's no background check.
Mm-mm.
They'll send the gun to anybody without any kind of caution. I think the Supreme Court might rule in favor of the ghost gun ban. The ban. I think the conservative Supreme Court might actually uphold Biden's ghost gun policy.
That'd be interesting.
That's my guess.
Yeah. Well, the 2023 champion chunkster Grazer is once again claiming the title of Alaska's fattest bear. The Katmai National Park and Preserve announced last night that the fiercely protective mama bear has won first place in this year's Fat Bear Week competition. Grazer garnered more than 71,000 votes to claim her crown as the thickest queen in all the land. Runner-up, Chunk, took in less than half of that with over 30,000 votes. And Buzz came in third. He killed one of Grazer's cubs in July. The annual contest relies on public votes to determine which brown bear in
who somebody killed?
Chunk killed Grazer's cubs. Yeah.
And Grazer is the fatter bear?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I didn't know bears ate other bears. Was that the one where they said they had to pause the fat bear contest because one of the bears ate another bear?
Yes.
Pause. Oh,
Aww.
Yeah. All that was left were
fat bear.
all that was left were grisly remains.
Well, sometimes art is a little too realistic. A museum in the Netherlands has one art piece called All the Good Times We Spent Together by Alexandra Levet on display, and it ended up in the trash.
Are these the things that were mistaken for
empty beer cans?
Beverage containers.
Yeah.
Right, empty beer cans.
The piece was made in 1988 and initially appears to be nothing more than 2 empty beer cans. That's why a janitor tossed it away. The meticulously painted canvases have been recovered, and now it's more obvious that they are art and not beer cans.
So they were sitting on top of a glass
display,
and they were seated in such a way that they looked like empty beer cans, and they said the guy's not in trouble because they really look like empty beer cans.
I really thought this was trash.
All right, let me ask you a question. I think I know how you're going to answer that. Is this art?
It's not art.
Art is in the eye of
the beholder. Exactly, Jonah.
Well, these are beer holders.
Hold my beer.
So anything can be art as long as somebody says that it's art.
If it sparks something inside of you.
It sparks nothing inside of me other than,
well,
I don't consider this art.
What does spark anything inside of you?
You know, I like
Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, I like
Sorry,
Norman
it's
Rockwell.
not a Jackson Pollock.
No, I don't like Jackson Pollock.
You don't?
I could do that if I just went out there and started slinging paint around on a canvas. Right, that's all it is. A chimpanzee could do that. I don't consider Jackson Pollock.
And I would buy the chimpanzee's artwork, yes.
Yeah. I think a lot of people buy art, and it's just a big con.
Do we need to take a break, Joanna?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, with the news,
Buzz can continue looking at, I don't know what he's looking at over there, but I see you.
Oh,
no. He told me to look up Timmy's.
We have to bring this up and click on one of the videos because...
Oh, you can read all about Timmy's over at KLAQ.com and how they've gotten around censors.
What is... Okay, it looks like a strip club, but everybody's wearing a...
Well, you click on one, like any of them. Just click on them because they have videos of like...
Trying to find the one with the biggest...
Okay, well, unfortunately, none of them.
I see you.
All right.
Well, that one's barely... Oh, there.
Wait.
Are.
Well, wait till the camera goes to the back.
Woo!
And you said this has something to do with my Chicas Locas article, which the city says they had an undercover officer who said they claimed to be a bikini bar, but I went to their grand opening and got a lap dance in the VIP, and the bikini girl. I think the article I wrote is titled, "Can you get a lap dance at a bikini bar in El Paso?"
So it has something to do with that article, and I'll tell you more when we come back.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show on the way right after this.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday...
It's a required finance agreement, too. Bill price early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
They make you laugh every day. They keep you up to date on all the news. They're just fun to listen to.
Buzz Adams, mornings on the Q.
Buzz, what a cute little life.
This is the morning show on 95.5 KLAQ.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul. Seal your doom tonight.
The Haunted House of Terror is over on Far East Montana. This weekend schedule, it's going to be Thursday through Sunday. Get your tickets there at the door. The address is 13900 Montana Boulevard, Thursday 7 to 10, and then on Friday and Saturday 7 to midnight, Sunday back to 7 to 10. So we got a contest going on. Joanna has a Queen of Halloween trivia question, and then we're going to find out about how to get free pie every Wednesday during the month of October. Let's see. We're going with caller number 2 is our first caller, Joanna?
Yes.
All right, caller number 2, it is Julian. Hi, Julian.
Hey, how you doing?
Julian, very good. So for a pair of tickets to the haunted house, let's turn it over to the Queen of Halloween, Joanna Barba, who's going to ask you a question. If you get it right, tickets are yours. All right, Joanna?
All right.
Fire away.
All right, Julian. What classic horror movie famously used Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells as its main theme?
All right. Got 5 seconds, so it's Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells. Which horror movie?
Tubular Bells.
Oh, yes.
Okay, time's up. Need an answer. Got to get an answer.
Exorcist.
Did he get it? Did he get it?
He said it. Yeah,
he said it.
It was right in time.
Okay.
Okay.
They said you beat the clock.
Well, at the last moment.
At the last second, you got it. Yeah, it was Exorcist.
That seemed like an unfair question because I'm sure lots of people have heard it but don't know the name Tubular Bells.
Actually charted.
Did it really?
It did, yeah.
It went, I don't know how high it got, but it was on the top 10 music charts when it came out.
Famously on so many Halloween playlists right now.
Very good. Adrian, hold on. We'll set you up with those tickets,
Julian.
okay?
Julian. Adrian is our backup.
Oh, okay. My
That's
bad.
weird. I've gotten Adrian all my life for some weird reason. It happens all the time.
Weird.
But it's Julian.
Julian.
All right, Julian, you are the winner. Thanks for playing along with us. All right. Hang tight.
Start eating pie. It's a sweet day for pie. You put it in front of me and I'll eat every bite. I don't look at the scales, it would give me a fright. You can blame everything on my wife.
We're talking about Pie, Free Pie Wednesday, and we have Ashley from the Village Inn. So tell me what the deal is. How do I get a free slice of pie?
Yes, hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi, Ashley.
Okay, so yes, I'm here from Village Inn. So for the month of October, we're actually giving away free pie from 10 in the morning till 10 p.m. with the purchase of any entree.
Okay.
Would you like me to tell you the flavors we have?
Yes.
I know them.
Wait.
I'm a fan
so
of.
you're not just giving any any pie that anybody wants. You're going to have a certain selection that people can order from.
Right.
Okay, just tell me if French silk is part of the
Yeah,
deal.
of course. Yes. So we have French silk, coconut, cherry, apple, and pumpkin with cream.
What's the cream one there?
That's coconut.
Coconut cream pie is a great pie. Some people don't like coconut. Coconut pie is one of the most delicious pies. Do you tend to prefer fruit pies or cream pies, Nico?
I like cream pies.
Yeah. Cherry pie, one of my favorites as well.
If you make it a la mode, even better.
Now, wait a minute. Will you throw in a scoop of ice cream for free, or does that not
That
come?
won't be free.
Right, but you can add it?
You can add it, right.
So, just a scenario, if I go in on a Wednesday morning and get the country skillet, comes with a piece of pie.
Right.
If I go in right before 10 o'clock and order some soup, pie.
Yes.
Entree,
It
she
has
said.
to be an entree, but it's soup. It could be the entree.
Soup could be
right.
the entree of
Even
soup.
our appetizers, we are counting as entrees, to be honest with you.
Do you guys still serve menudo?
Yes, we do, all day long. Every day.
All right. So go in. Once again, the pies are cherry. It looks like apple, coconut cream, pumpkin, French silk. Boy, that French silk, man. Did Village Inn invent that pie? Because I've never seen it on anybody else's menu before.
It's chocolate
And my mom
mousse.
never makes it. It's chocolate
It's
mousse.
chocolate mousse.
Yeah, but
That's
it's very
what it is.
distinct.
Yes.
It's not like other chocolate mousse pies.
And it's only on Wednesdays.
Only on Wednesdays for the month of October. Only
right.
on Wednesdays from 10 in the morning till 10 p.m.
All right. Can't wait to get a hold of some of that pie at Village Inn.
Start eating
Pie,
It's a
Mrs.
sweet
Man.
day for pie. You put it in front of me and I'll eat every bite.
Well, thank you, Ashley. Thank you. And Ashley
Thank
also
you.
brought pie. Did you bring a French silk?
Yes, I did. That's
Jackpot.
my favorite.
That's your favorite?
Jackpot.
I'm sure you get as much pie as you want, though.
Yes, I do.
That's one of the perks of working there.
All right. Thank you, Ashley.
Cheese May. Cheese May.
Joanna's
Hollywood Cheese May. Gonna tell us more.
Look at Hollywood News. It's the Hollywood Cheese May. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning to you. Not many people had this on their 2024 bingo card, but Scott Stapp, the lead singer of the newly reunited Creed, is making his debut at the Grand Ole Opry later this month.
Say what?
Right. Stapp will be giving the first ever live performance of If These Walls Could Talk. That's his duet with Dorothy, another artist that we play here.
We do.
Opry members John Party, T. Graham Brown, and Ashley McBride will be on the inner circle the same night. So Nashville resident Stapp will have some high-powered company on the stage on October 23rd. Limp Bizkit and frontman Fred Durst have filed a lawsuit against Universal Music for $200 million, claiming the band never received any royalties until recently. In the lawsuit, Durst's lawyers allege that Limp Bizkit and possibly hundreds of other artists have unfairly had their royalties wrongfully withheld for years due to a fraudulent system created by Universal Music. The suit adds that UMG's failure to issue royalty statements, in particular from 1997 to 2004, the height of the band's fame, and during periods in which they made record-breaking sales, with respect to its most popular album, suggests that UMG was intentionally concealing the true amount of sales and therefore royalties due and owing to Limp Bizkit in order to unfairly keep those profits for themselves. Durst's lawyers also questioned the record company's accounting practices, saying that almost $100,000 were mysteriously charged to the band. According to Billboard, in addition to unpaid royalties, the lawsuit is seeking to void the band's record contract and give the band back the copyrights to its music. And it's also seeking copyright infringement damages. An airline has apologized after playing an R-rated movie with sexual material to passengers during a 10-hour flight. As reported by The Guardian, a Qantas flight from Sydney to Japan suffered technical issues, which resulted in only one film being played on the screen for all of its passengers. The movie in question was 2023's Daddy-O, starring Dakota Johnson as a woman sharing her history, sexual or otherwise, with her cab driver, played by Sean Penn. Daddy-O is rated R for language, sexual material, and brief graphic nudity, and was then shown during the flight, with one passenger apparently describing it as 40 minutes of boobs and penis.
Yeah.
In a statement,
that sounds like my kind of flight.
Especially the penises, huh?
In a statement,
that is homophobic.
In a statement,
not woke.
I backslide sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's what he said.
In a statement, a spokesman for Qantas said, quote, "The movie was clearly not suitable to play for the whole flight, and we sincerely apologize to customers for this experience. All screens were changed to a family-friendly movie for the rest of the flight, which is our standard practice for the rare cases where individual movie selection is impossible, and we are reviewing how the movie was even selected."
It's been a long time since I flew far enough for there to be an in-flight movie, but the last time I did it was probably 20-something years ago, and all the TVs are in the back of the seat, even back then.
Uh-huh.
Do they still have like the big screen at the front so everybody is subjected to the same movie whether they want to or not?
Oh, babe.
What?
Oh.
What?
No.
You haven't been flying so long.
Yeah.
You just get on the internet that the plane has, and usually on your phone or laptop, they have some in-flight movies through the internet.
Okay.
Like
well,
free
it seems
ones that
like
you can
free
choose.
ones that you can access.
could, if you didn't like the content of the movie,
You could have just turned
not
it off.
watch it, right?
But they're saying there was technical issues, so everyone was subjected to this movie that had 40 minutes of penis and boobs.
What was the airline? Qantas, you said?
Qantas.
Yeah, they might do like international flights too, or longer ones that have
Yeah,
the
this one
TVs.
was going from Sydney to Japan.
Yeah.
And it was a 10-hour flight. 10 hours of Dakota Johnson talking to Sean Penn.
Qantas is the only airline that's never had a major accident, according to Rain Man.
Really?
Is that from the movie?
The movie Rain Man.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
Is that a scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he and
It's
his
not as famous as definitely Judge Wapner, but
Yeah, well, definitely Wapner. I get my underwear at Kmart.
Wake up, babe. A new popcorn bucket just dropped. The Gladiator 2 popcorn bucket has arrived. And my first thought was, oh, thank God, it's just a helmet. The popcorn bucket is shaped like the helmet or mask a fighter wears in the arena, specifically the one Maximus wears in the first film. And the popcorn is retrieved from the top of the bucket rather than through the mouth or something else that's weird. The long-awaited...
Oh, that's cool.
It also comes with a cup holder for it that also looks like one of the masks.
That's his famous mask.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, there's DJ Doom. MF Doom.
Somebody
MF
says it looks
Doom.
like MF Doom's mask.
I just read a whole article on that. How they're like, no, it's not an MF Doom themed bucket.
Well, MF Doom got the mask from Gladiator.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. The long-awaited sequel is one of the most highly anticipated movies of the year, where Ridley Scott returns to direct. Gladiator 2 is set to hit theaters on November 22nd.
Thank you, Ridley Scott. Give us exactly what we want, which is something that was just like the first one.
That's all we want.
I saw the extended trailer before Joker 2, and it is just like the first one. So Pedro Pascal plays a Roman general. Then you got some snooty emperor who's like a real dandy. It looks just like the first one, except they fill the Colosseum up with water and have sea battles.
Sea battle.
Well, they actually did that in ancient Rome.
I'm well aware of that, Nico. You know that I know that.
Did he tell you that?
No.
No, but you know I know that.
Yes, you both know enough about it. It's not a competition.
But it subtly kind of is.
Right.
I mean, with you guys, everything is a competition.
Anything you know about Rome, I know even more.
That is your Roman Empire.
I know more about Rome than you.
You guys gonna go see that together? Or?
No.
Maybe.
Nah. Nico and I don't go to movies together very often.
Aw.
We don't leave our houses very often.
True. Well, finally, Lisa Marie Presley's memoir came out yesterday with the help of her daughter, Riley Keough, and it's called From Here to the Great Unknown. And in it, Lisa Marie reveals some pretty crazy stuff, and probably the most insane claim is how she kept her son Benjamin's body on dry ice at her home for 2 whole months.
That's sad. I wish somebody, it almost sounds like a cry for help, and it also has some huge RFK Jr. energy attached to it somehow.
Famous people, not always like us. Benjamin was 27 when he died in 2020. He took his own life. And in the memoir, Lisa Marie says, quote, that my house has a separate Casita's bedroom, and I kept Ben in there for 2 months. There is no law in the state of California that you have to bury someone immediately.
But maybe there should be.
Maybe there should be after this.
I guess there's no law that you can't cut off a whale's head and attach it to the top of your car like a Christmas tree either.
You didn't say I couldn't do it.
The room Lisa Marie kept Benjamin in was kept at 55 degrees to help preserve his body. Lisa Marie went on to share that over those 2 months, she got so used to him, caring for him, and keeping him there, and said, quote, I felt so fortunate that there was a way that I could still parent him, delay it a bit longer so that I could become okay with laying him to rest.
Look, I know this all sounds really weird, but I think that losing a child before,
right.
Losing a child early,
it's
probably the worst thing to ever happen to a parent. And I can only imagine what it was like to be the mother to a baby that turned into a man that's passed away, and you would want to still mother them a little.
Okay, but
it's understandable.
Most people don't do that.
But most people don't get to keep their son in a 55-degree room on dry ice.
Yeah,
and
most people don't have the option.
Bring in a tattoo artist
with the dry. Wait, what about the tattoo artist?
Here we go. For her part, Riley says that she and her mom decided to get tattoos that matched Benjamin's. So they had a tattoo artist come to the house to see Benjamin's tattoos in person on his body, and said, quote,
you couldn't take pictures?
Right, send them to the tattoo artist. Riley said, quote, I've had an extremely absurd life, but this moment is in the top 5. Benjamin's body was eventually laid to rest at Graceland. Elsewhere in the memoir, there's more. Lisa Marie reveals that when she got with Michael Jackson, he was a virgin, and he was 35 at the time. And said, quote,
he was probably a virgin as far as women went.
Oh, my God. She also addressed the child molestation accusations, saying, quote, I never saw a thing like that, and I personally would have killed him if I had.
Mm-hmm. So you got the dry ice. You've got a 2-week-old corpse. If this
2
was
month?
2 month old corpse.
Who knew you could keep it that long?
If this was around Halloween, it would have been a really, really good Halloween display.
Oh, my God.
Like it would have been coming up like smoke. And then you got, just prop it out there and put the bucket of candy in his lap.
This is a tragedy.
That took a return. But, she kept it for 2 months, and Benjamin died in July, so maybe it could have been a Halloween decoration.
Did she ever go to counseling? Because it really seems like that is a sign of some real mental distress.
It kind of does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then rich famous people are just weird and eccentric like that.
What did Lisa Marie end up dying from?
God, I can't remember.
Let's see.
Did she?
Let's see.
Did she take her own life?
No, I don't think she did. All right. Hold on, I will find out.
I got you.
Oh, good. Hit it, Nico.
Cardiac arrest. Natural causes. Maybe a small bowel obstruction.
Oh, my.
No drugs.
No drugs. Well, with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
Texas Roadhouse, 940 Gateway East, across from the Cielo Vista Mall, and 1499 Lee Trevino.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Tickets for Coldplay, going to be a huge concert in June at the Sun Bowl. And they go on sale Friday. We've got Win 'Em Before You Can Buy Them tickets tomorrow on the morning show. And then Friday, before they go on sale, we're going to have some more Win 'Em Before You Can Buy Them tickets for Coldplay. So be listening for that. I got a couple of things I was hoping to get to in the last segment. I've got random facts, and then I wanted to do some quick product reviews, okay?
Well, I'm impressed if you think you can fit all that in.
The sooner we get to it, the better chance I have of getting it all in.
And now it's time for
Random Facts.
This is the segment of the show where we look at things that have been fact-checked. Very random, but very factual. Mm-hmm. It's 3 random facts. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, random fact number 1. Bet you didn't know this. The Oval Office has pressure sensors in the floor, so the Secret Service can monitor exactly where the president is, even when the Secret Service isn't allowed to be inside the room with him.
Oh, interesting.
I wonder if they had that when Clinton was president.
Oh, there's 2 people. Now there's one person.
Now they're going to a bathroom off on the side. All right, now it looks like
we got a cigar sensor going off.
We got a cigar alert going off, folks. This next one, it has to do with science, specifically astronomy. I'm telling you both, act like mature adults when I tell you this random fact, okay?
Okay.
Is it about Uranus?
I can't guarantee.
I can already predict it's about Uranus.
Random fact number 2.
Okay.
Nico, you could fit 63 Earths inside Uranus. I told Joanna. I'm shocked. I'm surprised at you.
Why did you direct yourself just to Nico?
With practice, I think I could get 65.
With that attitude, yeah.
Uranus is so big that you could fit the Earth 63 times in Uranus.
How big is it?
It's pretty big. Random fact number 3. The intro music to Seinfeld was slightly different in every episode.
Huh.
It
Really?
It was composed to match the pace and the cadence of Jerry's stand-up, which is how every episode began.
Right.
And I want to play some audio video, and it's the composer, and he's demonstrating. It's not on. It sounds like a slap bass. It's actually a keyboard, and he demonstrates how he would make very minor changes depending on what Jerry was saying.
In an audio range that doesn't interfere with Jerry, and I can use it modularly to wind in and out of his lines.
Now, I was thinking the other day about hair, and that the weird thing about it is that people will touch other people's hair. You will actually kiss another human being right on the head. But if one of those hairs should somehow be able to get out of that skull and go off our phone, it is now the vilest, most disgusting thing.
That's pretty fascinating,
pretty cool.
huh?
Yeah, seriously.
That every episode, he had to kind of modify it.
You're right. And so it shows the guy, he's watching Jerry stand up, and he's kind of composing the theme slightly differently. Super differently. Cool. And we've learned a lot today, especially about Uranus.
These are just some facts that I learned. It was a maze. Everyone should try to learn something new each day.
Wow, that was really fast, Buzz.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Couple
Good
of things.
job.
Meta is coming out with a new version of their AI glasses, and they're supposed to even be more amazing.
You mean the Buddy Holly ones they came out with?
Those are more the Buddy Holly.
They're like 6 inches thick.
There's a video of a blind woman showing how she wears the Meta AI Ray-Bans. She's blind, okay? And she says it's changed her life, including that she goes to the store. And let's just see. The glasses tell her what it is she's looking at.
Oh. Hey, Meta, look. What section of the store is this?
This is the dog treats section.
Hey, Meta, look. What kind of treats are these?
The package says Red Barn Protein Puffs Training Treats. It's a high-protein treat for dogs, made with natural ingredients and no artificial preservatives or...
Okay, I'm thinking about getting these guys.
Wow. Imagine if they could be like giving you shady comments too. Like, these are the dog treats, you dumb bitch.
Or look at her dress.
And look at that ugly dress over there.
Here is another one.
I can't, I'm blind. Oh, let me describe how ugly it is. But it's saying it aloud and stuff.
You could really scam people. Somebody else did a video where they go up to somebody and basically your AI glasses recognize that person from their social media and tells you different things about them, like what their interests are, what they post about frequently.
It's like, remember that guy you were stalking on Facebook? There he is.
That is
right
him.
There.
A company called Skip is taking pre-orders for new high-tech pants.
You mean the peanut butter company?
No, that's Skippy.
Okay.
These pants would cost $5,000. They're taking pre-orders for them. But get this, it has a built-in exoskeleton that gives you 40% more leg power.
Did you say exoskeleton?
Yes, an exoskeleton.
40% more leg power? That's 100% more leg power for us.
$5,000 a pair. Here are the creators of the exoskeleton pants talking about their product.
The same way that sleepwear is something that you wear when you want to sleep, movewear is something that you wear when you want to move.
You can think of it like an e-bike for walking. On the way up, it really kind of offloads some of those big muscle groups that are working their hardest. We like to say it gives you about 40% more power in your legs on the way up with every step.
And then supports their knees on the way down.
All right. $5,000. I wonder if it would make you like able to dunk a basketball on a regulation size goal.
Yeah.
Easy on your knees, that's for sure.
I really think I'm going to maybe get the Meta glasses when the new version comes out. Finally, another product review. Exercise pills might finally be a thing if the scientists in Denmark who came up with this are to be believed. Scientists in Denmark say they've come up with a drug that mimics the effects of running a 10K.
Oh, my.
They've created a pill. You pop the pill, and you get some of the benefits of running a 10K. I don't have any idea how far a 10K is.
6.2 miles.
Oh, okay. They have not yet tested the drug on humans, but they've tried it on rats. You know, eventually the rats are going to become superpowered. And
you keep giving us all your medicines and drugs.
They're going to be these buff, yoked, super smart rats that are resistant to every disease.
They'll learn kung fu. They'll teach radioactive turtles.
Let's listen in as the scientist in Denmark talk about their exercise pills.
Don't feel like sweating? Rather be eating and drinking? Bork, bork. Introducing Florgenstorgen. Just pop the pill in, and you'll be feeling like you ran a 10K in, without moving a single tootsin'. Bork, bork. No hopping or spandexing. Side effects including excessive couching and Netflix binging and the urging to eat meatballs. Bork, 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 bork.
Florgenstorgen. Exercise has never been so lazy.
That's the show for today. The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m.
See you tomorrow, okay? Okay, bye-bye.
In the meantime, you can
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for the power, performance, and reliability of a new Super Start battery. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Oh, 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 O'Reilly Auto Parts.